This week, I went to Arizona for some celebrations, some celebratories. Nick B is getting ready for a big Maui trip. I need to get some feedback from Rip's Mill about her recent stay at my condo. I got a couple bits and games here. We'll see. Plenty of laughs. Welcome to the pod.
Happy return of Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns lineup day. The one-star recruits have partnered with 500 Level. Go get your KD Phoenix Sun shirts at 500level.com. Awesome shirts, Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, Boston Celtics, anybody you want to see, 500level.com. Use the code ONESTAR for 20% off everything on the site. Let's go.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. I am DK, joined as always with my best friend of 25 years, Rip. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the guy whose dream came true this week, Nick B in the house. Nick B, how are you feeling? Fresh off a Trash Talk Boys live appearance.
Bro, I'm feeling great, man. Thanks for having me back on the show. I'm excited. I'm curious to see what you have in store for me today. And yeah, I'm just fired up to be here. Let's go.
Back with mediocre to poor audio. So, Rip, what's the feedback from your mill? She stayed at my condo for a full 7 days. We did well. I executed I kind of was like the Andy Reid of this trip from a planning perspective and coaching perspective. Everything. Quarterback had a very high QB rating. We had probably 7 or 8 touchdowns. We had a couple unexpected picks that turned into touchdowns. Just a very excellently called week, I think, from everything from the drop-off with your mother-in-law to the transition. But what I'm missing is any feedback from that team, the opposing team, her team, your team. What's the feedback?
Well, we're the one-star recruits, DK, and I'm hearing actually the opposite. I'm hearing that it was a one-star visit by my mother-in-law down in Maui. I'm just kidding. You know what? I haven't heard much, DK. You've definitely heard a lot more than me. What I did hear is your pool was amazing. It was a little cold when we were there in January, but she said it was awesome. The temperature was not an issue, so she was in the pool a lot. I know that. I think that the first 4 or 5 days were amazing, but then after that, kind of like a lot of vacations with anybody, you're ready to go home after 4 or 5 days. So I think she probably stayed a couple days too long. Maybe ran out of things to do or whatever. But that's the little bit of feedback I heard.
That's what she said. I'm probably too long.
Yeah, I think, but I think that can be said for a lot of trips for anybody, right? And especially for her by herself in Maui, a beautiful island. But when you're by yourself, it's just a little different than when you're with someone. So I think, like I said, 4 or 5 days of awesomeness and excitement, and then you're just kind of ready to get back to your house.
Very fair feedback. I had feedback from the neighbors. Are you curious?
Oh, did she throw any parties?
I'm curious.
Was she loud? What's going on?
What, Nick B? What'd you say?
I said I'm curious.
Was she polite?
Nick B, tell the listeners what you're doing with your audio, just so we're all clear, so they don't think that we just throw you on consistently with shit audio. Just let everybody know. Go ahead.
I'm always just trying to figure out new shit. I got my wife's Jabra $400 Sirius headphones that I can't figure out, but I have got, top of the line mic at the office. In your man cave.
I got on that side of the house. You just got the kid to sleep, rolled in that man cave, sipping your chamomile tea, Nick B. So with that said, back to the original question. The feedback from the neighbor was first day back, got back. Actually, some sad news. RIP to my neighbor Jerry. He passed away while we were gone. He had a stroke. Really good dude from Vegas. But I was taking out the trash when I got back. Some Amazon packages, throwing them out, and I saw my main upstairs neighbors, who's a scuba instructor, and they got some bulldogs. And they're like, whoever was watching your dogs had those dogs moving, and she was out there. I was like, what? When we got home, my wife's like, Kimmy's like, damn, Abby feels lighter. And actually, Abby looked like in better shape. So I think your mill was moving. She might have 10,000 stepped it through the complex on a regular.
Don't you take the dogs for 10,000 steps daily, DK? Aren't they used to that?
No, the dogs don't do that with me. They go once a week. Go once a week. So I think it was very active. So there you go, Rip. That's the feedback I got. Super positive and a couple really great pictures. it all worked out. The fact of the matter for us is that was the first time we've done a car exchange. Have you guys ever done that?
Like a Turo?
Yeah. Like when you leave it at the airport and then someone picks it up a little later, but you have to hide the key, right?
Correct. So there's a little bit of communication that goes involved. I mean, the main things that have to connect on that is you have to, obviously find maybe a place against the wall. Passenger side, most recommended. I asked this question throughout my trip. Listeners, I went to Arizona. It was wonderful. We'll talk about it in a minute. But many people said, find a wall, find a and go passenger side front. I think including you, Rip. You said inside, I think, which is kind of where she put it, but she just put it on the ground. Clean transition, bang. Felt so nice to come back to my car, find the key, get in there, go to Whole Foods, get a slice of a pizza. You know how we roll, Nick B. One slice of cheese, one slice of pep.
Isn't it a standard though to put the key in the gas cap area?
That's what Rip said. That's what Rip said. So I don't know, Rip. I'm speaking for you. I'll pass it to you in a sec. But people did say that too, Nick B. And also people said you should use the magnetic thing.
Yeah.
Rip will tell you all the tricks probably. Go ahead, valet.
Yeah, as a former professional valet at the Phoenician Resort, 5-star resort in Scottsdale, Arizona. Yeah, no, the best place that no one would ever suspect is on the ground inside passenger front tire, because no one's ever looking there. You can't see it unless you crane under the tire, crane your neck around and look. A lot of cars, you can't even open the gas tank without pressing the button inside the car, right? So you either have an old school car or those key hiders, man. I think those things stick out like a sore thumb now.
Yeah, you got it. So that's the deal, but it worked out nicely. So everything was nice. So that's my Andy Reid Super Bowl play call. Thanks to your parents, Nick B. How associated are our lives now? This is crazy. I just literally saw you. Congratulations on your remodeled backyard. Nick, the Rip.
Thank you.
The funnest putting green and chipping green. New pool setup. I know you're working on that sidebar or whatever, but I'm addicted to golf a little bit, Rip. So I cruised through. You know, Nick B, we all got in the car after that chill session, and everybody said, because I had to push it a little bit, they wanted to go do more shit or whatever. You know, I was like, I need to go chill and have some friend time, and I'm gonna need to hit some putts. All right, ladies, so you can drop me off and do whatever. We went to Nick B's, we chilled. He had cocktails, we putted, chipped, kicked it, and we got back in the car, and everybody said, "Thank you, DK. That was wonderful. That was what we needed. It was like filled our souls, Nick B. So thank you for that chill session, and congratulations on your renovated fucking backyard. It's beautiful."
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. It was really fun having them over. It kind of was not a goal, but when you said that they were going to drop you off and then go shopping, I was kind of like, what, dude? They got to be chilling. So I, used the tactics of instantly offer up a cocktail that worked like a charm. Arizona Sun cocktail. They're like, you know what? Maybe we'll go.
I saw you in a bag of. I saw you in a bag of tortilla chips and just some. What kind of salsa was that? Was that just paste?
Oh, gross! Yeah, terrible.
Is that normal? That's normal for you?
You know what? I'm going to reserve that. Potentially, that might take over my 1-star moment of the week. No, that is not normal for me to not do pace. It was gross, bro.
So, did you love doing Trash Talk Boys and going to the studio? So, listeners, I came into Phoenix. I celebrated my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Pops. 80 years old. We went to his favorite pho restaurant, which is right across the street from Mesa Community College, right by Shirts and Things. Who remembers Shirts and Things?
Oh, yeah.
Crickets, Rip. You remember.
Over by Kiwanis Park, right?
No. Nick, did you ever have Doc Martens?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a chain wallet?
Absolutely. Still got it.
Yeah, that place was the shit. Anyway, that was a pho restaurant. If you're in the Phoenix area, it's right there. It's still there. It's small. It's amazing.
It's over there by the Pita Jungle, Rip. Over there by Mesa Community College.
Yep.
My point of reference, if anyone says you remember something in Arizona, say, "Oh yeah, over by Kiwanis Park." 80% of the time, it works out within a couple miles.
That's why people hate California, Rip. In all seriously, but so that was great, and then a fine celebration was had. Get the number 25 seafood pho if you roll through there. And that takes us to the day of reckoning for Nick B, which was our live appearance at the Trash Talk Boys, where we did, folks, a 3-hour pod on fast food, best fast food ranking. It was a long time to talk about fast food. Rip, you listened. You know who won. Were you surprised of the grand champion? And share with us, the 1-star listeners, who won. It's very surprising.
It was a 16 seed that won, but that's only because Train is an idiot and randomly seeded these things. And McDonald's fries were the 16 seed for some reason. They should have been a 1. When I looked at the bracket, it took me about 5 seconds to have McDonald's fries and Wendy's spicy chicken in the finals. And it almost ended up happening like that. But yeah, McDonald's fries, which some say is a side dish. I got some last week and hammered them in my car because of the show. That was the winner. McDonald's fries, champion of the
fries. Nick B, you hammered some too. I saw you sent me a picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rip, I also I want to get your take on it because what was your take on it? Were there any specific items left off? Were you was vetoed because of the regionality, or where's your take on that?
I mean, dude, if we want to go in on Train again, like he asked everyone for 2 items. I texted my 2. It was a Wendy's Frosty, which the Wendy's Frosty I feel like would have been in the final 4. And it was an In-N-Out burger, which you guys, I mean, there were some crazy rules, but then there were some crazy rules about how much of America actually has In-N-Outs in their state, whatever. But I feel like 90% of America knows what In-N-Out is. Anyway, I could save this for another pod, but yeah, I mean, I was surprised that was the Whataburger chicken strips or the Chick-fil-A
I had them. I can report back on those. But I was surprised with those too, and the Arby's mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, they made it really far. And dude, there were some things left off. Let's face it, like it was only a 16 item bracket. It could have gone 64 for sure, but like Train mentioned, Nachos Bel Grande was left off, which is an amazing thing, right? That should definitely be in the bracket, but it was a first go around. I think there's gonna be a lot more. But yeah, I definitely thought some stuff was left off.
Dude, yeah, good call. When I was reflecting on it too, I was like, how did a green chili cheeseburger not make it on there? That's Whataburger's best item. How did the chicken strips get on there, but not the green chili cheeseburger? But then also, I think, again, in retrospect, easy to, in hindsight, make up some complaints. But definitely, I think In-N-Out on there. Not only, I mean, I do understand that it's regional, but all of my family in Pennsylvania, Utah, all of the places that they don't have In-N-Outs, they know about In-N-Out. Everybody that's been to California knows. So even though it's not something you can grab regularly, I feel like we should have been able to add it on there.
And dude, honestly, like I just thought of like 3 McDonald's items, like the Shamrock Shake, the McFlurry, like all these things can go on there. Like, I mean, Cinnabon, anybody?
Those are sidecars, Auntie Anne's pretzels. I know.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been a 64, but the 64 bracket would have been like a 7-hour show, right?
Days of debate. Yeah, Nick B, you did great. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely, I actually threw it out. I went to a wedding later in that week down in Tucson, and I had kind of a group around me, and I had to, God, I'm such a podcast asshole now. I can't like help myself. I'm like, hey, I did a bracket food master. Who do you think won? And this one gangster, shout out Paul in Tucson. He's a great baker. I guess he makes amazing dinner rolls. I left Nick B some. I wanted to know.
Oh, nice. Yes, I have, dude. They're really good.
My guy Paul stood up in a group of 8 people and he said McDonald's fries, as confident as if he listened to Trash Talk Boys the night before. And I was surprised. It was a surprising win, but it was a lot of fun for Nick B. Nick B, you got to like get your little putt face on and see all your homies and look at Chili, your favorite.
It was a lot of fun, dude. I did not come with much energy or really anything, dude. I kind of fell flat. I probably won't be invited back. So
you said your biggest mistake was that you ate right before because you weren't hungry to.
Dude, I made a lot of mistakes. We don't need to go into them, but straight up, I did not represent very well, but I still had an absolute blast, dude. I had a really great time at the Jack Shack. I was glad that McDonald's fries won because, I was looking at the 16. If I had to eliminate every single one of those and could only choose one, that's kind of what I would have gone with. So I was kind of happy.
Well, go ahead, Nick B. You sent me the pictures a minute on the podcast. You had fast food, I think, 3 nights while I was in the state of Arizona. You started with In-N-Out burger.
We got to save that for, that's later in the show. That is my 1-star moment of the week. So let's
anyway. All right. So no guests this week, listeners. So instead we're going to we'll do topic of the week. I'll let you guys choose. I'll give you, I'll give you 3 options. You guys have to brainstorm together and pick which direction you want to go in. Choose your own adventure. Ready?
Yep.
Number 1 for the listeners, no guest week, how we all met. Number 2, stealing stuff. Numero 3, Arizona built more. Which way do you want to go?
Because I don't know. Let's go number 1. Rip, you down number 1?
I'm going number 1. That was my, because I think it's important for the listeners to know how we all know each other and some of our background rather than just these 5-star guests we have on every week. They need to know a little bit about the 1-stars.
Yeah, all right. Well, the stealing stuff's kind of a quick one, and I'll just ask you, Rip, because Nick B will take too long to answer. But you're a burglar, but you only steal things to slightly inconvenience your victims. What are you stealing?
Hey, we didn't even choose that one.
Okay.
What the hell?
It's quick answers. Whatever comes to your head first, Rip. It's not a
Wait, I'm a burglar and I only steal things to slightly inconvenience my victims. All right.
Correct. What are you stealing?
Hot sauce from the fridge. If you plan a lot of your meals around hot sauce, and if it's not there, you're gonna be pissed. My wife is probably
so pissed. Where's the hot sauce?
Yep, there you go. Slightly inconvenience.
Yeah, it's good. One.
What is nachos without hot sauce?
What is eggs?
There you go.
Bro, what thou shalt not steal. Thou shall not steal. And I wouldn't steal from anybody. I mean, if it was life or death situation, I'd hit up some water out of somebody's hose in their front yard.
Nick B used to steal Parliament lights from me in Flagstaff, Arizona at the House on University.
We're not going to talk about things that we used to do. The question was now.
All right. Well, that's that anyway. How we all met. So it's crazy because really what's come more full circle for me, like I mentioned it earlier in the pod, literally right now, this last week and into this week, let's intertwine this and then we'll go back to how we got here. It'll be a fast forward. Rip's mother-in-law at my condo while I stay at Nick B's parents' house, who we used to like, okay, anyway, saw Nick B at his house for, a good chill session. And then tomorrow, listeners, Nick B arrives on the island of Maui to celebrate his wife's birthday. So woo, shit is interconnected. So how we met. Go ahead, Rip.
Yeah, it was 1995, I believe. Let's see. Let's go back. 1996, summer 1996. I was 20.
Allen Iverson was the guy.
I was 17. DK was 14 or 15, I think. And I was dating a girl that DK went to high school with, Marcos Deniza High School, Tempe, Arizona. DK was at the time dating her best friend. Shout out to Tara Havens. I will not shout out my ex-girlfriend. Shout out to Tara Havens. And so we met. DK was he was into hooping, so we played basketball all the time that summer at the club in the Tempe Lakes. And 28 years later, whatever the hell it is, that's the rest is history. That's how we met.
Yeah, through different states. Good one, Rip. You see my jump shot at the JCC in Tucson, by the way?
Dude, I sent like before and after from you doing the Chris Paul challenge to that. It was like, you've come a long way in 2 years. I thought my jump shot got a lot better. What the hell was happening there?
Photoshop.
It's because I'm 25 pounds lighter. It's like, it's easy. And also, I had a really shitty ball at that outdoor court in Hawaii that I did this Chris Paul challenge, and it was windy. So
wait, just real quick, DK, can I interrupt real quick just to say, did I just hear that your boy DK and Nick B both took Nota Begay's advice? And when he told us on the pod that we need to lose some LBs, we actually took it to heart.
Yeah, you lost LBs too, I noticed.
We both lost some LBs.
Hey, that's why we get these 5 stars on, man. We need advice and help to get better. And you guys take it to heart. I love it.
That's what's up. Notice should be able to maybe be a return guest. You know what I'm saying? If he's that motivational, let's go. NB3 Foundation, shout out.
You're going to the Masters in 10 days. If you run into that man, just thank him and tell him
show him your stomach.
Just show him my waistline.
show him your double A's, man. Show him that you don't got B's no more.
I will.
Yeah, so that's how Rip and I know each other. And then Nick B and I ended up meeting each other through that same high school, that Marcos Deniza High School. And I hung out with a crew. I was a chameleon. I was a chameleon and I was a chameleonaire of Marcos Deniza because I was able to roll with a lot of different groups. One of them happened to be some of the delinquents who had to go to night school in high school. You remember that group rip of humans?
Yeah, I could shout out some names if you want.
Yeah, I'm still right here, bro. That is kind of how we met. So
I mean, just in general, not even the specific ones I hung out with, but the humans who are in high school who have to go to night school. Most of them have jobs and have to work and support their families. Some of them just don't like to go to school during the day. I think Nick B was one of those, right, Nick?
I was not the best student, so I was kind of up against the clock when they said, graduation's coming up. You're gonna have to do a couple things that you're not ready for. So yeah, that was one of them. So
what'd you take there? You took a little bit of dance class and a little history there at night school with your homie Jeff?
Dude, I am ashamed to say that I do not remember what class I took. Definitely shout out to my homie Jeff Markins, would drive me in his Camaro, blue Camaro T-tops. We'd be listening to some Limp Bizkit or some Pantera or some hardcore stuff. But
311.
I can't wait until you Joey Days hears you say Limp Bizkit hardcore stuff.
He's gonna make fun. Of course, he might make fun of me, and that's fine. But dude, we used to listen. All right, let me throw it back. Huey Lewis and the News. We used to listen to. We used to a lot of Pantera, a lot of. You don't know Huey Lewis and the News?
Nick B got stock in Pantera. Nick B has stock in Pantera.
The heart of rock and roll is the beat.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the one. What is it? What? So it was this 1956, Nick B, right?
No, 70s.
Anyway,
80s. Anyway, getting back to yes,
this was 1999. Nick B had a cool truck with rims in Arizona. Everybody had 20-inch rims on the Impala. He had a Silverado, I think, or a Chevy with big rims and a system. Nick B rolled up to the parking lot with my bad homie smoking cigs in the parking lot. Nick B liked to smoke cigs in the parking lot. I think he played soccer with a couple of the people that we also knew. But me and Nick B gravitated towards each other because we both like the ganja.
Yeah, I mean, and also shout out to Josh Lyon because it was Josh Lyon was on my soccer team back when we were the Tempe Renegades when I was 10 years old, maybe or something like that. And then we reunited, and that's who introduced us. And then, I mean, I guess to tell a little bit more of the story, you decided to move up to Flagstaff with our homie Brandon Simmons. Shout out, and then I can't remember what happened. But something
I'm using everybody's governments, Nick B, without their consent.
Well, Rip's got the beeper. He can beep out last names. But dude, Simdog don't care, So he got, I can't remember what happened, but somehow he had to move out. And you needed a roommate on the fly, and you were offering discounted rent to all the homies down here. And at the time, my girlfriend, coincidentally, was just moving up to Flagstaff. So moved up there, moved in with you. And then literally 3 weeks later, she broke up with me. She's like, "You're just a loser. You sit on the couch and play Madden all day with your roommate." And so Nick B was heartbroken in a apartment with DK for the next 2.5, 3 years.
This was started in the University Heights apartments in the white ones, right?
Yes, correct.
With Stephanie and her sister and the other girl were the roommates there. Yeah.
Yep, Stephanie and Ashley Husing. Yeah, there we go. Government names. Throw them out.
That was a great introduction to college. That was good because I started in a really bad apartment. I actually remember there was fungus mushrooms growing on the floor of one closet that I lived in at first, and I got out of there. And then Nick, you saved the day because you came down. I lost a couple roommates, and you came down and hopped in, and you were hooked. You love Flagstaff, and actually Flagstaff was I would say Flagstaff was one of the better times of my life. I would really put that up there and maybe top 3 Mount Rushmore times. Rib used to come up. We held it down, bro.
Yeah, Flagstaff's a great town, great bar scene. Did
you come through? Did you come through? And
Rip came through.
I lived at the University Heights. You come out with us on Thursday nights?
Yeah, I remember that there was an amazing guy who he had a huge beard and long hair. He was a 4-star basketball player, and then we went to the Hotel Montezuma, Monte Vista, and he was rapping on stage.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's a hippie who can do everything. I'm like, what the hell? Who is this?
Didn't we play ball at intramurals? And then that night he was there, and it was a cold night. It was a white boy hip hop thing, but it was everybody likes the grouch and atmosphere and this little
town. I would say he was atmosphere before atmosphere. Where is that guy now? I'd love to know. Is he a fucking
do you remember him, Nick? I think I asked Adam. Yeah. He's from that's Joe. He's from Big J from Oregon or something.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to the Field House. That place was awesome. But yeah, dude, that dude was shorter than us and could dunk like it was nothing. Remember that, DK? Man.
Yeah, surprising athletes up there in Flagstaff, and that elevation, even though it wasn't the greatest training. But anyway, it was great. It was great. Sunday football at Maloney's. Nick B, how good getting a booth early at Maloney's for Sunday football.
Well, bro, I think that only happened to me once, maybe, dude. I was working doubles at the Little America, dude, room service, and I did not get to spend too many Sundays doing anything fun.
All right, that's true. Nick's gonna call that one out. Nick B actually through college this led to you being this magnificent rich man you are today. Guy has in college he started the Little America Hotel, driving the fucking golf cart around and drunk people at negative 16 degrees. And then you got into the cell phone hustle. Which
real quick, shout out. All right, I should actually put a Hall of Famer on blast. I mean, I might as well. Here we are on a pod. Connie Hawkins. There's there's a government name for you. Hall of Famer. Stiffed me, bro. A bowl of soup, and you guys don't know because you haven't ran room service. Anybody out there that's run room service knows you got to do cellophane around the top of the bowl of soup. And I brought it up there, and he stiffed me, bro.
You just got ripped so good. You said Connie Hawkins, son's great, number 42, I think. Excellent player. But he thought you were going to say Connie Marshall when I was looking at his face. That was so good. You don't even know. All right, onward. So Nick B and I did college and we graduated and went our separate ways. I went to California. Did you come to California, Nick? No, you went back to the Valley. You went back to Phoenix. Your PHX.
No, I went straight to Maui, bro. Yeah.
It was straight to Maui. You didn't go back.
No. I did. I moved in with our boy Justin Leon in Mesa for about 6 months. That's right.
Yeah, you reconvened and then you decided to come out to Maui, which you were the first one. And listeners, I'm taking you full circle on this, so I'm getting you there. So you can thank me later. You can thank me by giving me 5 stars that I'm such a great host and I move stories along so wonderfully and I can tie them together at the end. But Nick B was the first one in our group, along with our good buddy G Wald, who moved from Flagstaff and to the island of Maui. And there is a connection between Flagstaff, NAU, the 928, and Maui. A lot of kind of people do that, but you were the two in our friend group that did it. So there you were, bro. That was one of the better trips in my life too. You were living in, you were the Tapestry King, bro. And you had the best tan that I've ever seen. Was that the best you've ever looked in your life, Nick B and felt?
I mean, probably. I don't know. Man. My driver's license.
I know you weren't hooking up with any chicks, and you were still just doing your best. Well, you were eating. Nick B asked me the food items. He said I was chilling in his backyard. We were punting. I was taking all his money, went out, just making all kinds of putts on his putting green, and he's asking me, "What'd you ask me about? Aloha mixed plate, gone for 8 years now. What else you asked me? Where'd you get the masubis at the Shell station?" Nick B never ate at any of the restaurants here on Maui when he lived here. You had no paper, bro.
No, I moved there with some money, but I spent it all pretty quick.
It's a hard place. It's a hard place to live, but you did it, and it was probably one of your most freeing experiences. But it opened the universe to a handful of people kind of coming and going into Maui. I got here in some organic way. You're coming to visit this week, coming to chill, coming to celebrate your wife's birthday. Are you nervous? Okay, we'll go back to that. And doing business possibly on the island of Maui. So all kinds of stuff coming together in this universe. I feel very good about it. What I don't feel 100% good about, Nick B, maybe Rip can help you. He was just here. His mother-in-law was just here 4 days. You're coming for 4 days, right? We determined that's the golden number.
Yeah, and I am actually gonna already ask Rip off air. I'm gonna schedule a call with you if I can, Rip, because I want to know the skinny, and I need to hear it off air. I need to hear it, me and you, mano.
What do you mean? We'll do it on the pod. We have no guest. Ask him.
I can't be putting Rip on blast like that, but I do need to hear the do's, the don'ts, the what to be worried about. DK's.
Nick, what the listeners want to know is if you've planned anything, or are you ahead of a spouse's birthday? My guess, if I was a betting man, I would probably go all in on the nay side. Do you feel prepared? Do you feel prepared?
Yeah, absolutely. I did, and I also just booked a rental car today, so we're good.
I was gonna pick you up.
No, we got wheels, dude. It's only somehow the cars are on Maui are cheap, dude. I think it's $62 a day. So we got wheels.
Right. Breaking news. That's changed. I thought it was more. Okay, good. That's better for me, but I was going to pick you up. So, Bartons, if you're listening, the hospitality was extended. Okay. Your pops did not like the fact that I took an Uber to the house, Nick B. It's that Dutch hospitality.
I know. We talked about
it. Okay. Well, I got golf. We're going to play some golf. Rip, what else does he need to do? You think he should get on a bike ride with me?
Well, wait, before Rip answers that one, hold on, because you tried to come over golf a little too quick there. We have round 2 of the 3 best out of 3 challenge, which I'll remind you, Nick B's up 1-0. So yeah, we are gonna potentially close this thing out. Yeah. So okay, then sorry, go ahead with your question, D.
Yep, go for the win. Be playing the Kapalua Bay course. Probably Nick's gonna put at least 2 balls in the water on 17, most likely. We'll see. Stay tuned. And then everything else is a free for all, Nick B. So it's loose as a goose, man. We'll see. I got a little bit Maui Wowie. You know, you have the guest room. Ooh. Rip stayed here with his kiddos. You kind of have your own wing of the place, bro. So
yeah, what was that question that you were just asking Rip before I interrupted you there?
The what? What's one thing he should do out here? Should we go shoot hoops, Rip? What should Nick B do out here that's not like the normal thing?
No, I was going to say value tip number 1, if you have hotel rooms, cancel them and stay with DK. It'll save you a couple grand, but it sounds like you're already doing that. So good move there. Value guy tip number 2, just prepare in your head that it's crazy expensive. I know you live there and you've been there a bunch of times, but I'm in California, which is more expensive than Arizona. So you coming from Arizona to Maui, I mean, everything's gone up in the world over the past couple of years. Just get it in your head that it's expensive as shit, like the grocery store, everything. So it maybe mentally prepares you a little bit to spend some more money than you thought you would. Yeah, and number 3, just enjoy the beach, because even in California, man, there's no water like the Maui water, man. Just clear fish everywhere, turtles, and yeah, just spend as much time as you can at the beach, man. Savor it for those 4 days.
Love it, dude.
It's a good clip. There's our clip for the week for the Hawaii tourism board. Rip, I appreciate it. And that's the moral of the whole, how we know each other, how we interlap. The beauty of the podcast is people went on their separate directions, and COVID brought hard times, but it brought the ability to start this podcast, which now has continued to spread into our adult lives, and appreciate these friendships. They're both friendships of 20 plus years. It's pretty surreal actually to think about. So appreciate you fellas.
I know you guys are talking all kinds of 5-star. We got some 1-star moments of the week, listener approved segment that people look forward to each week. Nick B, Trash Talk Boys, was that a 5-star, 1-star moment for you? DK, you traveled for a week. I know you got some 1-star moments. Let it rip, fellas.
All right, let me jump off with I would say that the experience of the Jack Shack with the Trash Talk Boys was a 5-star experience, but it quickly sort of rolled into my 1-star my 1-star moment of the week, which is I went 3 days in a row of fast food. I hit McDonald's, I hit In-N-Out.
Say the items that you got.
At McDonald's, I got a double cheeseburger, large fries, mainly for those fries. That was the day right after the pod. I think the next day, wifey and I did In-N-Out, went double animal style, also went animal style fries. So totally just stuff in my face, bro. And then
day 3.
How am I drawing a blank on day 3? Or I think In-N-Out was day 3.
You doubled on In-N-Out burger.
No.
Whataburger, Arby's.
No, I did Whataburger.
Oh no, Sonic did a Sonic green chili cheeseburger from Sonic. So
how many of those meals were eaten in your car?
No, dude, I take that back. The green chili cheeseburger at Sonic was at the Trash Talk or at the Jack Shack.
Lord, how are you skinny?
We did Raising Cane's, which I didn't have the balls to like stand up to the boys in the shack and defend Raising Cane's. I don't think you did either, DK. We kind of got a little bit quiet because they kind of went hard in on Raising Cane's.
I don't love it enough, but to stand up for it. But I did sense you were ready to go inside, but outside you were just staring at chili.
Well, I felt I did feel really bad. I just feel like when Jason said the thing about the sauce, it was really funny. He's like, how dare they only have one sauce? And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, he's so right. That's just obnoxious. for them to do that. But then I was like, also quickly like, but damn, I love that sauce that they have. It's like anyway, I got really mad the very first time I went there and I'm like, can I eat ranch? They're like, we don't have it. Like, what? So, all right. So
I think Nick B was a little starstruck. I mean, it's one of his top 3 favorite pods. I think you said like 37 words in the entire 3 hours. I think it was a combination of it was running up on your bedtime. You had just eaten.
Yeah.
But I think you were a little starstruck, man. But everybody go check out that episode. The podcast is Trash Talk Boys. They're our good friends in Gilbert, Arizona, the Jack Shack. They do a great show. Trash Talk Boys last week, DK and Nick B were on that Bracket Boys episode. So everybody go check that out after this episode.
Yeah, thanks for letting me sit in for you, Rip. That was awesome. Thank you. What's your 1-star moment?
You loved it. You loved it. Rip, go ahead. What's your 1-star moment? You get poo on your face?
Nah, I mean, everyone knows I'm a value guy. I've already talked about it on this episode, but sometimes it comes back to bite you, man. I went down to I go to REI once a year. REI to get my Hoka shoes. DK, you took my wreck of the week and got the Hokas. I love them, but my pair right now is getting a little bit worn out. So I had a 20% off coupon plus like an $18 rewards coupon for being a club member. So I drove 20 minutes, the nearest REI to my house. I took my 4-year-old with me. I'm like, well, I'm just going to go get these shoes real quick. Drove down there. Hokas are $140, very expensive shoes. But I'm like, if I have this 20% off and the $18 coupon, I'm gonna get out for under $100. So I grabbed the shoes. I'm like, I'm in and out. I'm feeling good. I see the line. It's like a 15-minute wait. I'm like, shit, with a 4-year-old. So I wait in the line. Finally, 15 minutes goes by. I get up to the cash register. First thing the woman says to me, oh, I'm so sorry to tell you, but unfortunately, Hoka is the one brand that this coupon is not applicable for. They do not let us discount their shoes. So I'm like, shit. I'm like, any normal person would have just said, fuck it. I'm going to pay the $120. I'm going to use the $18 coupon. I said, nope. I said, I'm out of here. I left. I said, first I said, can I get another pair of shoes, another brand? She said, yeah, Hoka's the only one. So I looked over my shoulder. The line had like doubled in that time. It was like a 30-minute wait. I walked out, drove 20 minutes home, trying to teach my kid a value guy lesson. Do not go against your principles. I did not get the Hokas. I drove there and back for nothing. But I still have some worn out shoes, so we'll see.
Hard to get.
It always seems like your 1-star moment of the week have like a nice undertone or like a silver lining, because you're right, bro. You taught your kid a good lesson.
That's his personality, listeners. That's why we're doing no guest end of the month, so people can get to know Rip's personality. We had comedian Adam Lamb on. People want more Adam. Guess what they also wanted? They want more Rip. They want to hear his sensitive side. They want to what Rip. The Hokas, you did introduce me, and I do like them, but they're embarrassing, bro. They are definitely the shoe of obese folks at Sky Harbor Airport. They have the market on complete lockdown.
They're runner shoes. They're runner shoes.
On fatter people at Sky Harbor Airport in my life.
Bro, I think it's more like people. I've never seen anybody out of shape.
Airport shoes. They become airport shoes now.
I think it's more. No, the medical field, nurses wear them, but I think it's more like 40 middle-aged like white person shoes versus like the overweight person at the airport. I don't know where you're coming from, DK, but embarrassing either way, probably. But
it was at least 50% were big Hokas walking through the airport sweating with Hokas on.
Wow.
I mean, it's all with all due respect. It's
kind of a shock.
I like my Hokas. I was shocked to see as many on feet as a former podcast used to say. Nice one, Rip. Thanks for being so nice. Look at Nick B appreciates that. Part of your personality, huh, Nick B?
On feet. Oh yeah, no, I do. I absolutely do. Rip's always coming through. His 1-star moments of the week are like 5-star moments for the average folk. Well, I guess other than a few, you've had some blunders. But anyway, all right, what you got, DK?
Mine's gonna be quick. Did your parents say anything about Big Earn's toilet?
No. Did you clog my parents' toilet?
Oh my!
It was an adventure. I don't think it was fully my fault. Look, I've been eating.
Says every person that's ever clogged a toilet.
We had these delicious pizzas. A lot's been going in my stomach. I keep it relatively healthy here, and I was just doing rabbit poops for the whole last couple of days of the trip. Just rabbit pellets, and we dropped off a gift certificate for the Dutch hospitality I mentioned earlier, and there's talking in the living room. I excuse myself to use the restroom. Earns back restroom, and I do some pellets. So it's not a clog move, just a solid ball of toilet paper right there. Not a plug job. I'm telling you, fellas. And I went to flush, and I wasn't getting a connection. I wasn't getting a water flow. So something that my whole family appreciated a lot, Nick B. Everything at your parents' house is where it should be. And boy, oh boy, did this come into helpful fashion in this situation. So I pop up, I panic, I take off the top. It's not working. I'm thinking of big urn, take a dump, and I'm grossing myself out. I wash my hands, I gather myself. I think of a game plan. I think I'm just going to tell Nick's mom because she's sweet and she'll just help me. I go out and I'm ready to tell everybody. They're just deep in conversation and I couldn't break up the group. I kind of did like one and walked back and forth and then came in and I was almost going to do it. And I was like, you know what? Because the plunger wasn't at my house. The plunger's right by the toilet. Wasn't in this one in Big Ern's bathroom. So right where it should be, the closet right across from it, boom, right on the ground, plunger, gave it a good plunge. Everything went down, but it did not reconnect. So I didn't say anything and we just left.
So you had the dry, like no water in the toilet, just dry?
No,
So
it had a small amount at the bottom. You know, once you plunge, it still has the small amount. Everything went down. It has the bottom amount, like looked good, but it wasn't flushing. But I think it was like that before. So that's why I was looking for an update, Nick B. If you haven't heard.
So you're basically saying that like
good news.
You're saying basically like my niece and nephew are probably over there today or going to go over there tomorrow and they're going to accidentally flood the house, get all upset.
No, the crazy thing about toilets is like, I feel like 80% of the time they just fix themselves. Like it works itself out. So like probably the next person who went in there and flushed it, like it's back to normal. But I think it's the exact way to handle it, DK. Who knew the Dutch kept their plungers in the closet across from the toilet? That's a pro tip.
Everything has a home there, and it's correct. It's Dutch hospitality at its finest. A magnificent stay. But I feel bad about that. So that was 1 star. Thank you, Rip. I didn't want to ruin the vibe. It was there on a joyous occasion. We were dropping off gifts. We had gathered gifts from our travels that we were dropping off. I didn't want to ruin the energy.
Dropping off something else. Jeez.
Yeah, seriously. I'm going to have to ask him tomorrow.
I feel bad. Anyway, 1 star wreck of the week. Let's wrap up this podcast. Thank you, listeners, for sticking with us. You know who you are. Phoenix Sun shirts. Seymour, saw you at the Utah Jazz game. Kevin Durant shirt you're going to need for the playoff run. Saporito, you need a New York Knicks Brunson shirt in Montana. So check out 500 level. Wreck of the week, Rip. You always have good ones, Nick B says. What do you got?
Man, I always make fun of DK for recommending Netflix shows, but I think I'd have been on a pretty hot streak myself. I've been watching a little bit more TV these days. I'm always intrigued by a mystery and a documentary. I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but 10 years ago, there was a flight called MH370 Malaysia Airlines from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Disappeared in thin air. It was like all the rage on all the news channels for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 10 years later, nobody still knows what happened to those 229 passengers. It's insane when you think about it that a plane could disappear out of thin air. There's a documentary on Netflix right now called MH370, The Plane That Disappeared. It's a 3-part series, about an hour and a half each episode, and it goes into some theories. One is on the pilot, one is on, I think, the machinery, and I haven't got to the third one yet, but man, it's an amazing documentary.
The third is don't spoil it.
The third is bombs. It's okay. The third is they thought bombs were on it and they had to be self-destructed by
hijack. The hijacker was another one. So yeah, no, each episode focuses on a different theory.
I watched it. It's very good. It had me pondering within my household for a couple of days after. And I'm going with number 1, Pilot, although the route was crazy. So check that one out, Nick B. That's a good.
You're so wrong. I watched it, bro. You're way wrong. It's absolutely UFOs.
Well, either that's the great part of it is we all left with different like theories and ideas, and still like think of how crazy it is in 2023 that nobody knows what happened to 229 people. It's completely insane. That would never happen anywhere else. And
I guess we should also like pay our respects and condolences to the families, because you guys do, I think, have listeners in Malaysia too. I mean, think about if you just your family member, you don't even have a body, you can't even confirm that they died, like you can't even mourn them. Like, man, That's
it
part.
feels like a government conspiracy to me because, like I said, that like the fact that in this day and age you do not know what happened to an entire plane is crazy, and it feels like a cover up. But go check it out for yourself. MH370, the plane that disappeared on Netflix. What do you guys got?
How about that guy who keeps finding the stuff, but he's the only guy who can find the wreckage of it? And enjoy your flight tomorrow, Nick B.
Good call, bro. Yeah, no, that guy is a trip, dude. That is a great recommendation.
It's a good doc. Yeah, it's a good doc. If you haven't checked that one out, check it out. I was traveling, which means I'm back on my candy game, people, back in it. Two top contenders for me this week that probably needed some mention. Number one takes the cake, the top king, the big dog on my traveling tour that just blew the minds of everybody who I tried him. I offered them to a couple of people, like a gentleman. You want to try some of these Nerds Clusters? Fuck, excellent. A+ 5 stars.
This is a throwback? Are these like new candies that they sell in
New
convenience
candies.
stores?
They're on the same rack as the Trolleys and the Haribras. They're Nerds Clusters. It's like a Gushers fruit snack without the gush, rolled in a field of nerds.
Can I say, is it kind of like a Nerd's rope just chopped up into pieces?
Possibly, Nick B. Possibly a Nerd's rope. That's a throwback. I don't know if they're still doing that one. So if you're at the airport and you want a 5-star candy, definitely top notch. Go for some Nerds Clusters. If you want an honorable mention, go ahead and try the Airhead Extreme Bites, 3.5 stars. Really great chew. You just can't eat a whole bag of them. So that's the problem there.
We need a candy bracket. DK mentioned a hoodie bracket, which is just ridiculous, but
yeah,
a candy bracket would be top notch, I think.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that, Trent? If you're listening, let's get a candy bracket and bracket boys. That's lots of controversy in there, as you
there
can
you go.
See. But these are two great ones. You know, if you're a candy connoisseur like myself and an airport candy connoisseur, which is the next level, Nick B does private, so they just give him the regular M&Ms, and he doesn't have the options.
That's crazy talk, bro. I go tropical Skittles is my jam on the airplane. But good call, good Rex, DK.
My Rex. I have it that way. Nick B, I have one third honorable mention. India's Flamin' Tempe, the best Indian food in the Valley of the Sun. India's Flamin' Tempe by the bowling alley. Go ahead, Nick B.
Did you get chicken tikka masala over there?
It was like I was in London again.
Oh, dang. I want to go to London. All right, yeah. So my rec of the week, I feel like it's kind of lame now after listening to your guys's, but it's just to go to your local farmers market. It had been a long time since we had gone, and so on this past Saturday we went to the Gilbert Farmers Market, and it was just awesome. It was just really fun. It was really cool. There was a guy that I'll kind of make this quick, but you're probably already playing the music over my voice, but whatever. Yeah, so there's a guy.
Hit the music.
There's a guy. There's this dude selling plants, and one of the things was air plants. So that's actually the rec of the week. Air plants, so cool. You don't even need to water them. Anyway, you got. But this guy, so what's cool is this guy's selling me stuff, and I tell Lucy you can get a sticker and one Chibit. She's like, cool. So we go hit the whole farmers market, and we go back. And then yesterday, I take her to the mall, Chandler Mall here, to return her little thing at Claire's and get something else. And sure enough, we see on this like marquee, like this billboard of that guy that was at the Gilbert Farmers Market, and he's in one of those like Chase small business commercials. I'll have to send it to you, Rip. We throw it on social. It's pretty crazy. Like, you guys have seen those Chase small business commercials, and it's like you don't think that those are real people with real businesses. This guy was on there. So anyway,
what a wild ride. My head hurts. Thank you, listeners. And Nick B, how are those dinner rolls I gave you? Paul's dinner rolls.
They were really good. Yeah, the wife threw some butter and honey on one, and
medium.
Surprising, yeah.
It's surprising. It was a carb drop off. I'm trying to stay fit. Listeners, we appreciate you. We're going to be back. We have a hot guest coming. We, as you can see, we did a little traveling. So when you move around, you just get the 3 of us, the 2 of us, maybe the 4 of us. Masters coming up. Nick B's going to be at Augusta, so we'll get with Nick B. Old school listeners who've been with us from the beginning, we have a surprise. We have a reunion coming up for the Masters. Stay tuned. We appreciate you. Rip, what did I miss?
Reach out to your friends this week and tell them how much you love them. Give them a hug. Nick B, DK, what's the greeting going to be like tomorrow? I know you guys just saw each other, but back in DK's house. How are the dogs gonna greet Nick B? I mean, I want to play by play of how this reunion goes down, and yeah, just love your friends, man.
Yeah, you got that car. Nick B cruising up in the Mustang. I'll see you in Maui, bro. Later.
See you next week.
All right. One star recruits. Let's go.